I like that you still have a price tag on the bottom of your wine glass.
That was my gift tonight. And she's drinking out of it, bitch.
I bought Rachel a wine glass at the dollar store and gifted it to her and immediately asked her if I could use it.
Well, to be fair, before that, you tried drinking out of the fucking box
and then
of
I
wine,
spilled
and
on
that
myself.
didn't work.
Listen, I'm trying my hardest.
I really don't think that this podcast is going to be very deep. That's actually super interesting because that's not what your wife said. OMG.
Welcome to
That's
Not
what
Your
wife
Said.
What did she say, Kylie?
She actually didn't have time to say anything.
And why is that?
She was busy.
With what?
Not making you a sandwich and cutting it diagonally. That's not what she was doing. Definitely not.
Let's not get that started because
I'm
we're not going to get you a new chair.
Speaking of excited, and speaking of getting new chairs.
An extra chair, perhaps.
An
maybe
extra chair.
Maybe a third?
A third chair? A third?
A
menage?
three-way, if you will.
How do you say that word? Ménage
A
trois?
ménage à trois. Is that right?
I think so. I mean, we can ask our guest because he's a very educated human being. So on the pod this evening, we have the man, the myth, the absolute legend, the love of my life.
Ooh, Nathan, you better watch out.
Cary McRoberts.
Hi.
Oh, yes!
I definitely reject the myth title and the legend title. I am a man, and I believe to be the love of your life. I believe myself to be that, yeah. But I'm not sure about the myth and the legend.
That is
In my
actually the
heart.
cutest thing I've ever heard. Most men would be like, love of your life? I don't know about that. The legend? You're fucking right. This guy's like, love of your life? Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll take
Man,
that
myth
one.
and legend? Probably not.
It's like I'm your best friend, but you're not my. Like,
No.
I'm definitely the love of her life, but like, I'm you know how it goes.
Wow, I'm going to cry
Don't
now.
worry, we'll
Okay,
cut
I'll
it.
be
We'll
right
cut
back.
it.
We can cut that out? Okay. I don't want
I
to come
gotta
off
go.
too strong too fast.
He's like,
I believe it's just Ménage à Trois.
Ménage à
I can't do a French accent, but I think that's how you say it.
Ménage à toi, on
in the
est
English
ménage à
there.
trois, non de croissant.
You want to take your pants off and put on this croissant and get on the table?
You want to butter my biscuit?
What? You said that.
That went Russian there toward the
Yeah, like I said, accents, they can be one way or the other.
They can be all over the place, all over the world, international.
end.
you
That's
will.
the thing. I only have national. I can only do
Okay, Pitbull.
United States regional. I guess they're dialects if they're in the same country, right? They're not accents. It's like a French accent, but a Southern dialect.
Okay.
I disagree.
Am I talking outside the scope of this
No.
podcast? What is this podcast
a little
about?
bit. It's not that deep, as our intro suggests.
I just do want to say that I physically made you. I requested probably almost every single country ever that accent from you when we went to Topgolf that one time.
Okay, because
Uh-huh.
I was just about to do that.
Ireland, do Scotland, do French. I was like harassing you.
Can we
on the
do it
golf
again?
course.
Would that hurt physically?
You can do it. I might not be able to do a good job. I know some of those that she just mentioned
Okay.
I can't do, and she just
We're
made
gonna
up the
you were
fact.
we're gonna
so
take
good.
turns. We're gonna do just a solid 4, so 2
Oh,
each.
God
Are you
damn
ready?
it. All right.
Okay, I'm starting. Texan.
Can I just say off the top, I'll do Texan here in a second, but I have no
All right.
skill set in this area. You didn't bring me on the podcast to do accents. I'm just some guy.
Oh yeah, no,
No
okay.
certification required.
All right, I think with Texas, my only touchstone is like a Matthew McConaughey type. So
Please!
like, out on the ranch, he's a little more whispery than I am. But like, if I were to do Texas, I'd sit right about here. Texas, they also have like real soft S's in Texas, where it's like a slow, like a lazy S on the bottom. We're out there getting some steer, that type of thing.
All right. I see a lot of low breakers in here.
Is that from something? I imagine that's Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
In fact, Matthew McConaughey
It
and
is.
the famous
I know him
Grammy-winning
personally.
Magic Mike, the
Yes.
one that won the Grammy.
I like the
Did it
Matthew
really?
McConaughey a Grammy.
I
For
know.
the music?
I literally was like, what? Just for Matthew, just for that line.
Just for him saying,
I
all
will
right.
push. I don't think I won a Grammy. I'll push back on that. Is there a fact checker on this podcast?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, her name's Rachel. Rachel, can you go?
Yeah, no, it happened.
Okay, it happened. It's real. All right, there you go.
So you did ask what this podcast is about. Let me answer that question for you.
2 words.
Yeah.
Chaotic commentary with Gary.
Chaotic commentary with Gary.
I feel like that's more than 2 words.
Oh shit, it was. added on the Cary because it rhymes.
Added on the with and added on the Cary. Yes.
The with Cary is just this episode, not the
Correct.
show. Right.
Right.
Exactly. We talk about a lot. Self-care, dating, life advice.
Toxic relationships.
Pretty much a lot of things.
All things chaos.
All things chaos.
Which I feel like would be a pretty good
Tagline.
biography title for your biography,
Guys,
Kylie.
hashtag.
Don't TM.
Hashtag alert.
TM, don't steal that. Yes, but it's pretty much everything. But I want to introduce you because
Hi. I'm here.
Cary, can you tell our faithful listeners who you are, what you do, what you're all about? What's your favorite?
What's your fucking story, bro? It's my favorite question to ask people. What's your story?
What are you all about, man? Top to bottom.
Bro, like, what's your vibe?
My vibe's like definitely yellow, like a cornflower yellow.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm about is like a 300, a 340, depending on the day. If you really want to know about me, I'd say like go look in a reflective pond and see what it says back to you, you know? What I'm trying to say is this is a really difficult question to answer.
It is, but I've never heard it answered with such examples.
Grace.
Such examples, such grace.
You can tell that you are the love of her life. I'm like, examples. She's like, Grace.
I'm very graceful. I don't know. I was like a member of the Kansas City art scene until that all fucking died during quarantine, and now
Yeah.
I'm just now I do like drywall and shit.
No way. You don't look like a drywall guy.
Cary's
really?
very
What's that
good
mean?
with his hands.
Can I tell you what you do look like?
Uh-huh.
And I don't want this to offend
No,
you.
not at all. You can't.
Kind of look like Kid Rock.
Yeah, I get that. I get riffraff a lot. You know riffraff?
No, I
Are you too
don't.
young for riffraff?
You know
Probably.
who
He's
Cary
the
really
worst.
looks like?
Huh? Who do I really look like?
Like
He looks like Joey.
You kind of look like, I feel like when you were younger, I don't know how to say his name. Macaulay Culkin.
I get Macaulay Culkin a fucking
you get that
shitload.
A lot.
You're a more attractive version of him, though. And you don't
No,
look doped up.
1,000%.
For people who can't see me who are listening, my hair tone is like fishing line. My skin is like saran wrap. I'm a little bit tall. That's like the one thing. I'm a tall, very, very, very white force. I'm like a ghost. I'm like
I'm a
Slender
white
Man.
force.
I'm like Slender Man, but I'm getting fat. What do you
Stop
call
it.
that?
Stop it. Earlier he says, no, I'm not a legend. Now he's going on and he's like, I'm a ghost.
Slender Man.
I'm
I'm a-
Slender Man. I'm
stealth.
fucking here.
That would take some confidence to like call yourself, I am a ghost. I am the night.
Let's get back on point here.
Yes.
What is the
Cary.
fucking point here? Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Okay.
Back to
I
the
do want to
point.
know just a little bit about what you do with your job.
Which job?
Oh, didn't know that was a thing.
Well, we're sitting in one of
This
them right
one.
now. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is we're in the Barrel of the Bottoms. We're recording from here for your guys' first time, which is really awesome. This is a podcast recording studio that if you're in the Kansas City area, or I guess the regional area, you can sign up to be a member and come record your podcast here. And then right outside the walls of the studio, we have a small stage and some writing areas we used to do like open comedy nights, and we used to do like shows where we would have a big packed crowd, a crapped crowd.
We got a lot of crackheads.
A big packed crowd, but now that the quarantine's hit, that's all fucking dead. Now we're just doing every Monday night you can do an open mic in a parking lot, drive-in
I
style.
was just going to ask, is it in a parking lot? Or
It's in a
like...
parking lot. We bought an FM transmitter so you can do it through the radio, so
Right
we don't
on.
have a speaker because that's illegal.
Okay, wait, that's so cool.
So you drive up with your car and just turn it on at 90.9, I think, and you can listen to us.
90.9.
And then on Wednesdays now, 2 Wednesdays in September, and then every Wednesday in October, we're doing outdoor shows at Knuckleheads down in the East Bottoms. So those are real comedy shows, not open mic. Booked motherfuckers, come get a drink, wear your mask, stay the fuck away from people. It's an outdoor thing. So that's what the Barrel's doing right now.
Wow. I want to go to that.
Yeah, definitely come. You can come like podcast before and then stay around for the show. It's like a big, cool venue.
That is
Yes.
so neat.
Let's do it.
I'm into it.
So I got that. We had Moondrop Circus, which
Yes.
was also a big part of my life until quarantine hit, and now everything's fucking toast. Moondrop Circus was a small community circus. We did private events. We did street fairs. We would do like First Fridays, and we had aerialists and jugglers and contortionists and sideshows and all sorts of bullshit. And we would do the weird, fun performances you never knew you wanted. But now that
Didn't know you need them, but you love
I don't think we've done one since March. Like I had like 20 cancel and no one's booking because anything can spread everything. So not all my people, but like a significant number of my friends are performers, and it's just so weird to see them all like, I don't know, I guess Baskin Robbins is hiring now. Like it's just such a shift. Uh-oh, we brought it down. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
It's
I mean,
fine.
it's okay. We get back up really quick.
Get back up on that horsey, baby. Daddy. Speaking of daddy,
Ooh.
Cary,
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable with this line of questioning.
So we were talking about it. We were actually talking about it on the way here. Do you like to be called? I feel like I know the answer to this. Do you like to be called daddy in bed?
I won't kick it out of bed. It's not like one of my things, but if it's a person's thing, that turns me on. Like I like being a part of the person's whatever they're into, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I've never asked like, you know what I'm into? Call me daddy. But if someone's like
Is
like
it
if they
in the
if
moment,
they
you
say
mean?
daddy first, I'll be like, all right, who's your fucking daddy? Like I'm fine.
Like, I'll play this role.
Yeah, I'm fine playing that card for sure. Same thing, by the way, with like most things outside regular sex. Like I like all sorts of
Kinks.
fun kinks or whatever.
So, follow-up question. If a person is into, let's say, foot stuff.
Me, okay,
Is that
me.
your
So
thing?
if I'm into foot stuff, it's not my one thing.
No!
I like a foot. They're good. I like a foot for sure. I like a foot.
I mean, there's a difference between liking a foot or, like, I don't know, admiring a foot. and,
Rachel
like,
hates
putting
feet.
a foot. I don't hate feet.
I thought you hated feet.
Nope. No. I don't mind
Oh.
feet at all, actually.
Really? I thought
Yeah.
you said you did not like feet.
I mean, I'm not like, put your fucking foot in my mouth, but I'm not. Yeah.
I don't like my feet, which I think informs why I like
feet.
the feet of partners, right? Because they're pretty and manicured and better than mine.
Oh.
I think my foot thing comes from just because regular missionary sex, if you're a man to a woman, both feet are right there, and you want something for your mouth to do. So like A plus B equals foot.
The transverse property of addition
so many
equals
other things to
big
do with your
toes in
mouth.
the mouth.
No, because you're grabbing both ankles in missionary, and you're doing the sex thing, and you just have these 2 feet right by your face. Like,
You got to suck on a big
You
toe.
gotta
Or
suck
you're
on
gonna
a
suck
toe.
on a big toe. That's the
Okay.
do I need to
that's
draw
not-
this for you?
No,
We have a
no.
whiteboard behind you.
No, but I think you're
A
doing
diagram?
maybe a version of missionary. But if you've got both feet right up next to you, that's not technically missionary.
I'm talking like bedside missionary, where
Sure.
the options kind of grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
the
standing in there.
opportunity
Yeah,
is
yeah.
plentiful.
Yeah, I feel like most of the weird sex stuff I've ever gotten into is just because someone was like, I like this, and if someone says that, that's the hottest thing to me. It's like, all right, let's
No,
fucking do it.
So, follow-up question: What's the weirdest thing you've done in bed, or out of bed? I guess is a better
This is
question.
really taking a turn.
Yeah, this is getting deep real fast. I guess it depends on your frame of reference because, like, real talk, saying "call me daddy" is pretty fucking weird. I know it's normal, quote unquote, but if you think
It's
about it for
becoming
half
normal.
a second,
It is a little
It ain't
funky.
Well, we actually did talk about this previously, and we thought about the fact that everybody calls their significant other baby, which is essentially the same thing but the opposite, and almost weirder because they're younger.
And baby girl.
Baby girl, which is me and Kylie's absolute favorite thing.
If somebody calls me baby girl, my pants are off.
how did that
Panties
start?
are wet. I don't know,
Don't
but I
know.
don't
Because it had to start
care.
slow, right?
They're like, babe.
You mean like when
Baby.
you're talking to somebody, it has to start slow?
Just initially as like a thing in our language, it couldn't just like one day someone's like, "Hey, grown woman, I'm going to call you baby." Like it had to, there had to be some
Yeah.
kind of weird movement that allowed for that.
Maybe
to
it
happen.
was like, you're my baby because you are somebody that's precious to me.
'Cause
And
I
I
call
would
my
take care
dog
of you like a
baby.
baby. I call
My dog's my baby.
my cat's baby.
They're your babies.
And I'll call my homies baby if I do a joke like, "And that's why I left, baby." You know what I mean? Like it's just a word
Baby.
now. But at one point, it wasn't just a word. At one point, someone made the decision to be like, "I know you're a grown woman, but I want to call you baby."
So that gets me to my next question for you, Care Bear.
This is an interrogation.
call you Care
Yeah,
Bear?
this feels like an interrogation.
Can I put a flashlight on you?
As from a man's perspective, is a baby voice hot, or can it be hot to not just you, but just men in general?
I mean, it's clearly hot to men in general because, like, it's out there. Like, you can kind of tell what some people appreciate because if you can find porn on it,
Oh,
then people are looking for it, right? You know,
Someone's into it.
porn isn't free to make. Like, you need to put market research in, and like, you need to be assured that motherfuckers are gonna look at this shit.
And pay for that shit.
So I think baby voice is probably some folks are pretty down for that. It seems like it's a real big turnoff for me just because I work in entertainment, so I can't help but see a woman doing baby voice. Like I don't ever when I hear baby voice, I'm never like, ooh, this person's a sexy baby. It's just like this adult woman is doing a voice right now. It's very weird. Like if I went to bed and someone did like a Mexican voice, I'd be like, that's a character, right? You're doing a bit. That's how baby voice feels. This is a bit, right?
It kind of is.
You can just suck my dick without like sucking your thumb too.
Okay, so
okay.
What if a girl? You mentioned earlier you don't necessarily have to be into it, but if the girl's really into it, you're into it.
That's my number one turn on for sure. I'll do
I was
fucking
just gonna say
anything short of shit play. Sign me up. I'll do it. Whatever.
Okay, so you're into golden showers.
If we're in an actual shower, like I'll fucking tango. Whatever. I don't want you to pee on my bed, but if we're in like a waterproof environment,
I'm down to tango.
We'll see what's up. Yeah, if I can wash my hands immediately after, if I don't like it,
I'll try anything once.
Yeah, or at this point, like a third or fourth time. Yeah.
We're getting
I'm sorry,
desperate.
can we get a rewind?
I've read somewhere, maybe my brother's wife works for Cosmo. She's like a creative director at Cosmo. She got a
That's
badass
exciting.
fucking job. Yeah,
That's amazing.
Maybe it was there, maybe it was somewhere else. But young men, a group with whom I don't have a whole lot of sex, but I've read that they don't make noises anymore because in porn, like I had the complaint, they tell men not to make the noise because straight dudes don't like hearing dude noises during porn or whatever. So young men are being conditioned to be quiet during sex.
Which is such a turnoff for women.
That's what I was going to say. Like, no woman likes that. They want guys to be like, yeah, this is good. Like, whatever.
Love this. Keep it
high
up.
five.
Keep
Guys
it up,
are like
baby
that
girl.
in bed too, where they like feel uncomfortable speaking. They just want to hear you, but like they don't like. I need feedback. If you're not, it's such a turnoff to me.
The idea, like, being embarrassed by noises that you could make in bed is so hilarious to me because you're already naked, your asshole's already out. Like, go ahead and let the extra 10% of embarrassment
100%.
just fly, buddy.
I agree.
Put yourself on the table
Like,
here.
I've already seen your dick. That's the biggest
Yeah.
embarrassment you've got.
What if you were fucking a guy who was great sex, great body, great guy, great sex, you were fucking, and then at one point he was like, ugh, and then you were like, oh my God, what a loser.
Can you shut the fuck up, please?
What a fucking nerd.
Everything was great, and then he moaned, and I just laughed.
I'm sorry,
I
is this
couldn't
good
do
for
it.
you? You like open a curtain and all your friends are behind it. You're like, did you fucking hear that?
I'm sorry. Excuse me, ladies.
I'm sorry. I know like you're getting there, but can I just have a minute? I need to text Stacy really quick. Just be a minute.
Stacey, you will not fucking believe. Jesus Christ.
You know Jason? Yeah, no. Yeah, he's here. He's here. Say hi, Jason. Okay, he says hi. Yeah, no. His moan.
I mean, that's a crazy example, but every guy I know is terrified, and for good reason, because every woman I know has confirmed this. Y'all just talk about everything that happens with your friends.
100%. I give Rachel a play-by-play of fucking everything that happens.
I get told about sexting.
I tell you about sex.
Guys don't talk
that's what I'm
about that
saying.
stuff. I feel like the stereotypes are really weird because the stereotype is a dude's like, man, I fucking like finger blasted Cynthia or whatever it is.
They might say that, but
Did
no
you just say
details.
Cynthia?
Yeah, I don't know why. And like, that's a name of a person in
I'm
my
actually
life.
more excited that he said finger blasted. Haven't heard that in a minute.
Oh, dude, I love finger blasted and I love knuckle as a verb. I knuckled her.
Okay, I'm going to switch this conversation a little.
As we should.
God damn,
Okay.
it's like whiplash. All right.
What has your experience been in this quarantine dating era that we're in? Like, because just to give you, for me, I haven't been on any dating sites. I haven't done any of that. I really have had zero contact with anybody. I've really been taking a cleanse lately.
A cleanse. Dating cleanse.
A dating cleanse. Well,
Yeah.
a dating cleanse, essentially.
She says that, and meanwhile, the chef is crying in his bathroom. Okay.
I'm going to see him on Friday, but it's okay. But yes, how's dating been?
Well, I would just like to say up top, I think it's really funny that you guys brought me on with no particular expertise and are just like prodding super personal information.
I'm so sorry.
As we do.
Because as everyone's dating life is, mine's just a fucking shit show. Nothing's going good, obviously. The beginning was nice. Me and a good friend accidentally became a quarantine couple, which was lovely for a while. But we probably weren't destined.
Sounds like a recipe for disaster.
We recently stopped being intimate because I started to fear that it was a recipe for disaster because we had such a good long-standing friendship and I'm such a goddamn chaotic dater that I felt like those two facts at one point were going to fucking collide into some kind of explosion. So we're working on that and we stopped being intimate. We're still friends and stuff like that.
Good.
But honestly, I haven't like tried dating because that thing was there right when quarantine started and then it ended and now I'm like in that just after a relationship period where you'd kind of feel like a shitbag to like get back in the market or whatever. You know what I mean?
So are you a active like dating app user?
I really wish I could be. I'm banned for life from Tinder.
Wait,
What?
what?
For life.
What?
From Tinder.
Tell me now everything. What?
I really like saying that because it's 100% true, and I really like leaving it
That's
at
a
that.
fun fact for sure.
Super fun fact. And not knowing the actual story makes it better because it could be something awful.
I'm thinking
it could be.
pedophile.
Yeah, I was pedio. Isn't that feet? I'm
Yeah,
super
that-
into feet. A pedophile.
You were
I'm
a
thinking
pediatric nurse.
Not a
Pedialyte.
pedophile. Pedophile. I didn't fuck kids. Thank you for your question.
Yep.
What it was, I was in a polyamorous and open relationship at the time, and me and my partner were looking for a third person to like date and have fun with and stuff like that. So we put photos up of the two of us, but some really hot photos of her up.
Define hot.
Yep, I need a
photos.
definition. I need
I
descriptions.
will show you. I will show
We're
you the
women.
photo. I can show you the photo it was based off of, but my girlfriend at the time and I just basically redid that photo. This exact photo. With
That's-
this exact setup.
That's
Hot. You
that's
still-
me.
Very hot. That's her.
That is not you.
That is.
Yeah, it's a good photo, right?
Kylie! Give me a close up.
All right, there you go. Don't do no scrolling now. So I thought the rule on Tinder was like no nudity,
Okay.
but I guess it's like no
Wait, can I see this photo again?
obtrusive hotness because that's what got us banned.
That is nudity.
You don't see no lips or no
Still
tits.
nudity. It's just an ass, which we are all.
There's no asshole.
It's-
Asshole is nudity.
It's called desensitization. You know what? That is. If it's on Instagram, then it should be able to be on Tinder.
So I'm polyamorous. I've only kind of ever been in polyamorous relationships. When my dad passed, I was dating 3 women at the time. And
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
They all
fucking
knew
I
about.
could
So they,
not.
really good year for me.
so they all knew about each other.
Yeah, I've never been. There are like tons of different types of polyamory, but it requires like a lot of work and diligence, and like it's like a really, really intensive way to be in a relationship.
And memorization.
All that shit.
Jesus
You just call
Christ.
everyone like Sweet Pea, and it's fine.
Baby girl.
Yeah, baby
I'm
girl.
just imagining you just like shouting out a name that's not
Sweet
theirs.
tits.
But the keeping relationships separate, which is a type of polyamory, to me feels like way more work. So I've only ever been in the types of relationships where we're all just a big group together. So like we would all hang out together. You know what I mean? It wasn't like different relationships. We were all
Wow.
just a puddle. So I was there with 2 of them. I don't know if I should say their name. M and V, we'll say. My dad was recently passed, and we were doing fucking cocaine in his big ass fucking mansion house.
It is a big ass fucking mansion.
Big ass
house,
fucking mansion house.
And it's terrifying.
And we were playing loud music, and I went outside to get something from my truck and came back inside, and I guess I had forgotten that I had set the alarms when I went back and back in, or when I went out and back in, the alarm went off because the music was playing. I didn't hear the alarm going off, so the cops showed up. And the cop, I had 2 topless girlfriends there. We were all on coke, and like there was a thin barrier of door keeping the chaos inside from the cops outside. And the cops needed to be like, hey, this is cool, we'll leave. We just need like proof that you live here. But my dad had just died. It wasn't my house. It was in the name of my deceased father. So I was like going inside, bringing like his death papers, like business cards that I had printed.
All while you were
and sent to
on
the house,
cocaine?
and 2 topless girlfriends right inside the door.
You're like,
And you
oh.
have a glass front door.
I have so they were crouched underneath the couch. You know, the couch right by the front
yes,
window.
I know the exact
They were both
couch.
on the floor, and they were both black and terrified of cops, which just added to because cocaine is a paranoid fucking drug. So M and V were just like sitting there, like Anne Frank, waiting for this all to be over. So I finally got enough documents out to the porch that was like, I promise I am Cary McRoberts, and my dad was Randy McRoberts, and this was his house, and like he's dead now. Do you believe me? And they're like, all right, we believe you. And they left, and we all got like a big sigh
You're
of
like,
relief.
also, it's not my cocaine.
They
believe
came.
me?
Also,
They came back like 45 minutes later to do it again. They're like, we need more documentation.
you're kidding.
So I had to get my laptop on the front porch, and I was
Oh,
looking
you
up.
little nerdo.
We had,
They must have been bored as shit.
Well, it's a super rich neighborhood, so their job is to like fucking fuck with folks. I will say one time when my dad was still alive, it was his birthday. We woke up, we had like a birthday breakfast or whatever, and I went to work. And because he and I did the birthday stuff in the morning, I kind of like forgot about it at night. And this was when he was dying. I was living with him. And like later on in the evening, I heard him giggling and stumbling into the house with his fiance, which is very much not the way he behaved. And I kind of went through in my mind. I'm like, oh shit, it's his birthday. Oh shit, they're tipsy. they're going to fuck. I should fucking leave. This is like, I should get out of here for his birthday, right? So.
Unless you want to hear her call your daddy.
I did not. Thank you for asking. No. I did. So I had nowhere to go. It was winter, so I just like took my truck a half a block down and like in my truck on with the heat going. I watched a movie on Netflix. I had like a tall boy 6-pack in my truck and like smoked some pot. It was a good night that I had in my truck. Like
right on.
I love that. I was gonna go home at midnight, let my dad get it in, whatever it is. But about halfway through the movie, some cops showed up. They fucking asked me for my shit. To find my license, I literally had to like make empty beer can noises because I had been drinking in the truck.
Oh,
like
no.
they fucking knew that I was in there drinking. But I told them the same story. I'm like, dude, look, it's my dad's birthday. He's dying. It's his like
I'm letting him get it in the
his
pussy
fiance's
one more
in
time.
there, and I heard them kissing. So like I left. I'm gonna go back in like 30 minutes, and these two cops were like, all right, man, go do this in your driveway, and they let me off. I hope that they believed me just because it would take either honesty or a pure sociopath to make up that story instantly.
That would be insane.
My cancer dad is getting fucked inside. Like that is a pull.
It's a little bit of a stretch.
There's a lot of details in there that it's like,
you know when
questionable.
people lie and like they give you too much detail
Yeah.
and you're like, wait a second.
It's like
The sunset at 7:47. You said?
Yeah. Did you check your watch?
I don't know about that one, buddy.
I don't
And then I
buy it.
went into my car, and then I made a glass of coffee. It was 6 ounces, and it had this much creamer. Like, yeah, stop it.
Just
Go
a
home.
nice simple lie. Just trying to get my dad laid, officer.
Have you ever fucked someone that was married?
Yeah. Next question.
Was the
Is that what
husband's name Todd?
No. Oh boy, would I feel weird if it was.
If it was,
I'd feel like this was a
I
fucking
would literally.
trap.
And who's here tonight?
Todd rolls through the door.
If it was, literally, I would ask you to reconnect with this woman so we can get the Todd on the pod.
Oh my
no,
god.
I think if I'm using this terminology correctly, I think I have cucked a person.
What does that mean?
It's a new insult online. A cuck. A cuckold is someone whose wife gets fucked by someone else. And I have been in a situation
Yes, I've heard about this.
where a wife was like, "Hey, my husband approached me and said that he acknowledges he can't satisfy me within the relationship, so he's comfortable with me having sex outside the relationship." And I have been that guy.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's not
You made
even.
the wrong sucker a cuckold.
Yes, from Hamilton. A cuckold.
Oh.
Or
Alexander Hamilton.
you just rolled your eyes, Rachel,
Okay.
like you were putting her down
Rachel
a deep,
hates-
long
No,
path.
I'm
when I
imagining.
do this.
When you do
When
what?
I refer to the Hamilton soundtrack.
Stop it.
Welcome to the Adams administration.
I'm okay with a little bit of welcome to the Adams. She opens her mouth so wide on the Adams administration, but then she takes a long pause and then she keeps fucking
I just
going.
like through the whole thing she was maintaining stark eye contact with you for some kind of gratification.
You know what's funny is you don't do the song any justice because I actually listened to the song and it wasn't bad.
No, it's not that bad, is it? It's way better than
I
that,
was like,
isn't it?
that beat is tight.
Do you have any other questions, commentary, anything else you want to bring up?
Have I fulfilled the mission of this podcast?
I didn't
Is this
know-
what it's supposed
honestly,
to be about?
there wasn't really an agenda.
I didn't think today was going to be so sexual.
Let's, what's your favorite color?
Oh, God.
Pink. I like pink.
I
Yeah.
want to play something. I want to play a little game I like to call this or that. And we rapid fire questions at you, right?
Okay.
So we'll start easy.
Go.
Cake or ice cream?
Ice cream.
Movies or television show?
Television show.
Car or truck? Doesn't matter what we're
Truck.
doing, just pick one. Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Okay, I like that. Your turn.
Okay, I got a question for y'all. I was talking earlier about this with a friend of mine. Toxic masculinity is a thing in our culture. It's something we're all very aware of. And if you have
Yeah.
half a brain, it's something that you accept is a real thing. I feel a little bit shortchanged because in the feminist conversation, we have created the term toxic masculinity, which once again has its place and makes a lot of sense. But we haven't supplanted that with ideals for young men of what positive masculinity is. You know what I mean? I feel like anyone could rifle off 10 examples of what positive femininity would be, like nurturing, listening, patience, or like very feminine qualities. What do you guys think are good examples of like positive masculinity? Because right now, whenever anyone talks about masculinity, it's like bad, aggressive, violent, hypersexual, all this stuff. What's positive
So-
masculinity?
I feel like it's going
I
to be
don't
taken as generalizations.
I don't see gender roles.
You fucking better. Didn't you get extensions in your hair? They're gender roles.
Here's the thing is, like, when I'm dating or when I'm looking at what's attractive in a man, like, and maybe this is just me, but I appreciate somebody who is nurturing, somebody who is patient, like the qualities of somebody.
I agree.
What you would like in a woman.
But would you say that those are masculine qualities? Or, like, is that a man that's not very masculine? That's when that conversation changes.
Those sound like feminine qualities to me, which a
Right.
man can have. A
Right.
full man can have feminine qualities. There's nothing wrong with
Exactly.
that. And a woman can have masculine qualities. But all the things you're talking about being positive in a man are feminine qualities. So what are positive masculine traits?
Strong.
Like physically?
Yeah, sure. Strong. Well, both. Will. Strength of will.
So I'm going to stop you right there because the strong aspect of being like, I'm strong, I'm tough.
I know. That's why I was like, if I say anything, it's going to be a generalization.
It's a really hard question to answer because I feel like all of the positive qualities of masculinity, which once again, I'm not talking about maleness or femaleness, it's masculinity and femininity. All of the positive qualities of masculinity have kind of been used recently to describe how fucking badass, and rightfully so, how badass women are. Like strength is a very
Right.
huge part of the feminist movement and stuff like
It's
this.
kind of like,
Resilience used to be a masculine quality. Not the fuck anymore. Have you all met Beyonce? All this type of shit. There's kind of very few examples of like a purely masculine thing.
it's kind
are
of like
positive.
when you say like a lady standing up for herself and speaking what's right. People would be, if a man stood up for himself and spoke for what's right, they'd be like, oh my God, he's so entrepreneurial. He takes charge. Look at that initiative. But if a woman does that, it's like, oh, she's bossy. She is, controlling and all that kind of stuff. It's such a double-edged sword. And
It
I feel
is.
like there is toxic masculinity, and it is because there are situations where they are very toxic, controlling. No, controlling goes either way.
Right. It
Controlling in
doesn't have to
relationship,
be a gender
manipulative
role.
in a relationship.
We all know toxic masculinity is real. I'm not interested in talking about that because we fucking know. Men are the fucking worst.
You're the worst,
What
Cary.
I'm interested in is a beacon for young men growing up in a feminist culture.
All right, I'll tell you what's
hearing
positive about
there
a man.
We go.
Big dick.
Rachel, no! Cut those sandwiches diagonally, have a big dick, and know how to eat this pussy. You know what I
Eat
mean?
this pussy for
But
dinner.
on a serious note,
That sounds like an indoor to a fucking podcast right there. That is a punctuation mark.
on a serious fucking note, I think that it's still a man's world. And as much as, females, the female's future, all that kind of shit that's going around, I completely believe in that. However, the world is not making those changes as rapidly as I believe them. So I think the adaptation to, what the world is becoming is you just have to fucking be understanding of what the climate is.
What's
And
the
you-
climate?
This is the climate. I'll fucking tell you. 76 and sunny. Just kidding. Cloudy with a chance of your wife. I'm just going to say this.
Uh-huh.
Be good, do good.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But seriously, I don't know how to answer your question on toxic masculinity, but what I can say is there's a lot of shit that's going on and a lot of shit in the world. And I think if you are respectable to what you want and respectable to what your partner wants, then I think that's good enough.
A good knuckling.
If she asks for a good knuckling and if she wants a good fistful of what you have to say, then if guy fucking
By
By
golly,
God,
yo,
give it to
give
her.
it to her.
So, you guys, thank you so much for submitting your stories. I am going to share one. Rachel, I'm going to share a toxic ex story. And it's kind of a doozy. Okay, here we go. And he said, let's talk about one of my first serious relationships after high school. The cheater that wouldn't let me go. So for a couple of months, everything was good, hanging out all the time, living it up with her. When it started to go downhill was the moment she got into a fight with her family and got kicked out. Being the good boyfriend I am, I let her move into my parents' place. After about a month of her not letting me do anything I would like to do for fun, like play games, etc., she started to have an attitude change. And note that I've been doing everything for her, like driving her to work at 4 a.m. every day and helping her get a car so she can drive. I got curious one day, and I'm shameful that I did it, but I looked at her phone. And pardon my language, but this bitch was texting other dudes and shit in my bed in my house while I was asleep. So I waited until she was at work, and I went to confront her about it. And the only thing that she said was that I betrayed her for looking at her phone. Don't get me wrong, I should not have looked. But she didn't even acknowledge what I asked her or any wrong that she did. I break up with her, and then my weak ass ends up getting back together with her because I thought I loved her and I thought that she wouldn't do it again. Fast forward a bit, and I start to get suspicious again, because her attitude towards me is changing, and I can tell. One day her dad texts me and asks, why is there a white car in the driveway? I'm like, a white car in the driveway? I drive a silver one. So I tried to call her multiple times, and I get no answer. So I head over there, and when I get there, no car in sight. They had a camera out front their house, and apparently the video footage of that time frame of the car being there got erased. Coincidence? So by this point, I ordered her a promise ring and a necklace for Christmas, which, side note, why the fuck did you do
This
that?
poor
What a
boy.
fucking
This
idiot.
poor
Jesus
brainwashed
Christ. So I ordered her a promise ring and a necklace for Christmas.
And what, he never brought it up to her? He just was like, this kind of bothers me, but I'll just forget about it. Buy her a promise ring.
Right?
This is a very thick story. There's a lot going on here.
I'm going to say ignorance is bliss, and I know that from experience. So the necklace came in early, so I was like, I'll surprise her and see if I get a reaction. So I go over and I gift it to her. I get zero reaction whatsoever. She didn't hug me, kiss me, or anything. I don't need a standing ovation, but some acknowledgement of what I did would be great. So that morning I wake up before her and I sit just stewing like, what the hell did I do? And right then and there, her phone goes off, and it's some dude texting her. I look. Sure as shit, it's one of the line cooks at work, talking about all the shit he wants to do to her and all the kissing they want to do after work and shit.
All the kissing.
I know. I just want to kiss your little face.
Girl, I'm going to kiss you so hard.
I'm going to press my lips against your lips so hard that you're going to
Hope your boyfriend doesn't find about all this kissing.
I love kissing you, girl. Take note, this dude is 40 or something, and she just turned 21. So I get up after seeing those messages, and I grab all my things in the necklace, and I gave her the night before, and I wake her up, and still half asleep, I tell her I never want to see her again, and I walk out. She's frantically calling me and stuff.
Wait, he walks out of his parents' house? Isn't that where they're staying at this
I
point?
suppose so.
Okay.
It's like,
Goodbye, Mom and
he'll be like,
Dad.
I'll be back.
There's stronger
Fuck
moves. Yeah.
I'll be back for dinner, Mom. Don't worry, but I'm fucking leaving right now. I tell her I never want to see her again and walk out. She's calling me and stuff. Not apologizing for cheating, but going off on me for looking at messages.
Oh my
the
God.
balls.
Fuck
The
this girl.
balls. Some days go by, she's trying to get with me again. And you know what her excuse is for her to see me? She won't go out. She won't work out unless I'm there. So I finally cave and go. This guy just needs to...
Buddy, I got some words for you, buddy, when this is done. I got some words. This is no good. You got value, homie.
So I cave and I go. This bitch had the audacity to try and act like nothing happened. It was flirting with me. All this stuff was flirting with me, talking all the time. It ends up with me leaving and telling her that I won't see her ever again. Now, the real kicker of the story is a couple months after I broke up with her, I started a new job. And my first day of the job, guess who one of the line cooks are?
Knew it.
40-year-old kissy boy?
That fucking asshole that fucked my girl. And that's the story of my first love.
I got 2 comments.
I got a bunch of comments, too.
One,
Go
this
ahead.
is not the cheater that didn't let go. This is the asshat that got cheated on who wouldn't let go.
Mm-hmm.
B, who the fuck buys a promise ring?
I will say my high school boyfriend bought me a promise ring. I will say that I dramatically threw it in a river
That's
in front of him.
That's the
'cause
thing,
I was
though.
like, I'm
that
done.
is how
It's
a
a high
promise
school
ring
thing.
needs.
His
exactly.
name was Sebastian.
Promise
I was
rings
like,
are
I'm
fucking
done,
stupid.
Sebastian.
It's a thing of
And
drama.
threw it away.
Yeah, true.
All right, I'm going to take a different step and say, like, dude, you are crushing it. You seem like a really good guy. You brought this fucking broad into your parents' home. You brought her jewelry and a promise ring. You're like being a good boyfriend and trying your hardest and just looking for a little bit of gratification in the entire goddamn fucking way, this steamroller succubus bitch is just giving you the goddamn proverbial finger the whole fucking time. I don't know who taught you that you need to be in pain like that, but you seem to be worth something, motherfucker. So go out there and get like a good woman, because this woman is trash. Let her fuck 40-year-old line cooks, because that seems like her league. You seem like a little bit outside that league, bro. What, is her pussy made of gold? Fuck this bitch.
Carrie, you literally give the best advice all of the time.
One of my good friends, this was years and years ago in high school, but he stopped asking me relationship advice because every time he asked me relationship advice, I'd be like, dude, she's a bitch, break up with her. And then years went by, turns out she was a bitch, and then he broke up with her.
Oh, wow,
But, like,
surprising.
being inside, I tend to just give straight advice and something like, I don't know, how does it feel? Like, dude, she's a fucking cunt, get rid of her. It's kind of, it's easy to see this shit from the outside, right?
It is. And I think that comes down to one statement for that entire story is when you see red flags, don't ignore them.
Yeah, Maya
But it's
Angelou said, when
so-
people tell you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poetry.
And
I'm on here on a podcast quoting Maya Angelou. Being a polyamorous person, I've had in the past people reach out to me or reach out to my partners to be like, I just think that you should know that Cary is sleeping around. And the partners are like, yeah, that's what we do. And all of the air gets taken out of the sale. Like, oh, shit, I thought I had something spicy.
Yeah.
Thought I was going to ruin a relationship today.
That is kind of funny, actually.
Is that, there was a time, was that you in the photo?
Yes.
Oh, this
The
one?
background photo?
Yes.
Is that a prosthetic ass?
No,
That
that's
is
Rachel's
insane.
full ass.
Is that
Okay.
posted on the internet?
Yes.
Yes.
The listeners deserve to see this.
The listeners have seen this. Rachel has
That is
the
fucking
best
insane.
ass. You want to see something better?
Okay.
Talk for a minute. Have
Sure.
a dialogue.
Here's my favorite thing in life.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I just
That
love
photo?
No. You guys boost me up. It makes me feel good. I love whenever Kylie refers to my ass as a shelf.
'Cause it is.
Bro, what
Which one is that?
is... You look like an ampersand.
What is that?
You look like a goddamn treble clef. What even is that?
When I saw that picture, I literally said, my ass has its own zip code in this.
It does.
You look like you have scoliosis in all the right places. Is this nice?
You.
Am I being nice still? I feel like I am.
I think in an abrasive way it was a compliment.
Yeah,
There's-
good for you, buddy.
Thanks.
Do you work on that, or is it just like a quality that you have?
If I did work on it, no bitch would stand a chance. I'll tell you that much. It's fucking over.
You just accidentally become an X-Men? Like, I don't know. It's the ass.
My superpower is my ass.
It's like the Pokemon Snorlax. So you're just
God.
massive and sleeping there.
They're like, oh, this guy's strong. All right, bring Rachel out, and I just go.
I don't know what the fuck you're doing if you're not already following our social media. Instagram is at TNWYWS. Twitter is at TNWYWS. Facebook is That's Not What Your Wife Said. Our Patreon page is patreon.com/YoWife.
Your wife. Your wife. You know the one.
You know the one,
blonde,
your wife?
Big titty Judy. Yeah, I'm fucking her. Also, we mentioned previously, we want to hear from you. We just brought up another story today that was very entertaining, I will add. If you want advice on anything, we'd love to just basically give you our opinion or talk shit.
I don't have a lot of advice to give, but I have a lot of things to say.
Correct. A lot of things to say. I have something to say.
No.
Just kidding. I don't. Anyway, email us at whatyourwifesaid@gmail.com. Carrie,
What?
I know we've asked you a lot of things tonight, and I know it might have been uncomfortable. Actually, you don't seem uncomfortable at all. You seem
None
like-
of this has been uncomfortable.
No.
There are layers. We could go way deeper.
We want to say thank you for not just being on our pod, but also letting us record in such an awesome place.
You guys, we are here in the Barrel of the Bottom studio, correct?
Yes,
This
correct.
is the coolest place ever.
The West Bottoms. It is pretty bitchin'. All right, y'all. Look up Barrel of the Bottoms online. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook is where you get our events. We got comedy shows. We got an open mic every Monday
In the parking lot.
in a parking lot through an FM transmitter. We have shows every Wednesday at Knuckleheads Outdoors. Wear your mask. Stay the fuck away.
All right, we're going to send this shit off.
So until next Tipsy Tuesday, Have a great fucking week. We love you. See you next time.
Bye, motherfuckers. Love you.
You've reached Rachel and Kylie's phone. Please leave a message after the beep.
Stop fucking my wife.